We'll focus specifically on the breath today to anchor us in this mindfulness meditation. You can take a deep breath then, and a deep exhale. Notice your feet on the floor. Noticing your hands resting comfortably in your lap or on your thighs. Allow the shoulders to relax and rest down. Feel that the spine is straight but not stiff. And then notice your head resting comfortably right on your neck, sitting in a way that embodies dignity and ease, but also the quality of being awake. And if you're comfortable, perhaps allow the eyes to close, or just lowering the gaze and perhaps resting your eyes on your hands or a spot on the floor, and with a nice soft focus. When you're ready, gradually become aware of the fact that you're breathing. Perhaps take 1 or 2 breaths, letting the breaths become deeper each time, just to increase the sensations of breathing, but allow the breath to be as natural as it is. Notice where the sensations of breathing are the most prominent for you. Perhaps at the nostrils where the breath is entering the body and leaving the body. Or maybe you notice it more in your chest with the rising and falling sensations. Maybe even a little deeper down in the belly. Sense the expansion of the in-breath and the contraction of the out-breath. Just noticing where the sensations of breathing are the most easily accessible to you. And then perhaps staying right there for this period of meditation so that the attention can be more focused and concentrated. Begin to ride the waves of the breath. Become aware of the pattern of your own breathing. Noticing the in-breath followed by the out-breath, one after the other. Not forcing the breath or trying to control the breathing, just being mindful of it. Of course, the body knows perfectly well how to breathe all on its own without any help from you. It's been breathing on its own very nicely for years without you having to do anything. Try not to breathe in for a set amount of time or for a certain amount of time. Just see if it's possible to let the body breathe on its own and notice the breath as it is. Right now, not counting anything, not trying to make anything happen at all. Just breathe this breath right now, this breath. Notice the full cycle of the breath, the fullness of this next in-breath, sensing the slight pause where the breath begins to turn and the in-breath becomes the out-breath, and the fullness of the out-breath and the slight pause before the next in-breath begins. Each in-breath a fresh beginning, and each out-breath a complete letting go. As we sit here breathing, it doesn't take very long before we may notice that the mind has a tendency to wander. And in spite of our best intentions to just focus on the breath, we may find from time to time that the mind has a life of its own. We may notice that the mind has gotten caught up in planning or worries related to the future. Or then again, perhaps memories or regrets about the past. Or maybe just fantasies or daydreams, some thought or another, so that rather than the mind just being right here, right now, with this breath, it's been swept away in thinking. And when this happens, there can be a tendency to be hard on ourselves or think that we are failing at meditation. In reality, however, it is simply the nature of the mind to wonder. It is completely normal and not a problem at all. So when you notice the mind has wandered and is no longer with the breath, then simply notice where the mind has gone and then gently bring the attention back to this breath. Whether it's an in-breath or an out-breath. Because of course, while the mind has been wandering, the body has still been breathing. So just coming back and reestablishing the connection with the breath. And if the mind wanders away again, even dozens of times or 100 times, then dozens of times or 100 of times, just notice where it's gone and come back gently, but also firmly to this breath. Just this breath. Since each breath is occurring only in this moment, if you're aware of this breath in this moment, then you are present in this moment. So in this way, the breath can be an anchor to hold us in the present moment or bring us back into the present moment. No matter where our thoughts or our feelings or the events of our day or the sensations in our body may have taken us, we can come home to this moment by connecting with the breath. Moment by moment and breath by breath. Just continue to practice in silence for a few minutes, using the breath to bring the mind back when it wanders, extending kindness and compassion to yourself as we sit and breathe. this practice comes to an end, perhaps take a moment to express some appreciation or gratitude to yourself for taking this time and putting in this effort to develop this capacity to just be present for your own life. Maybe congratulating yourself for stepping out of the busyness and the doing that makes up most of our days, which can be very hard to do, and instead take these moments to nurture your own capacity to just be fully present with things as they are right now. And if it makes sense to you, perhaps form an intention to take a few minutes every day to just sit quietly in stillness, aware of your own breath, allowing it to serve as the anchor, bringing you back to this present moment, away from the regrets or pain of the past, and away from any anxieties about the future. Just here, just now, in this moment of your life.